Good morning, buenos dias. Today is a brief garden state of affairs. Today is September 21st, 2024. This is my video blog or video journal of my gardening journey. And this is the Garden State Chica State of Affairs. We're going to focus on the front yard today. It's about 10:30. I've been working here on this spigot because it was too low to the ground. I had to replace it. So I had to replace this little thing. And so you see now this has some movement and it's much better than it was before. I was having issues here with water. And so I wasn't really watering very well my front yard. So I'm very happy to report that I did that. So I have a bit of a mess. I purchased that kneeling pad from Garden State Answer. This is an incredible kneeling pad. This is the large one. It's fantastic. I love it. I sat down there while I worked on that. Okay, so yeah, the garden's a bit of a mess. You're gonna hear my neighbors. It's about 10:30 in the morning, so people are out. I'm gonna start over on this side. So I haven't had a lot of time or energy lately to do anything out here. Sometimes I have the time, but not the energy. Sometimes the energy, but not the time. Sometimes I don't have either. And so we're gonna start here. These are my Bobo hydrangeas and the emerald arborvitaes. So that the arborvitaes have got really big. They were really tiny, so they're doing great. I just watered this area because winter is coming, and I got to make sure that they have enough water to make it through the winter. And it's been very dry. I had planted this limelight here last year. It was really tiny, and I'm just letting it do its thing. I'm gonna limit up next year. I also planted this year. I planted this Weigelia. I think it's wine and roses. Here are some of the weeds that I have to take care of. But honestly, they're not as bad as they usually are. And I think I'm learning something about maintaining, controlling weeds. I put down mulch. I've weeded earlier a couple of times in the season. I'm going to wait until that plane goes by. Yeah, so this is an astilbe. I planted this about 2 years ago. It's doing great. I keep the blooms for fall and winter interest. And these guys, I'm probably going to have to take them out of this pots. These are pots inside pots. And I'm probably going to put them in the ground sometime today or tomorrow. This is a camellia that I have here. And it's getting a little yellow. So I'm going to give it some food. Um, these hostas will disappear in the winter. And these are transplants. I started these from another plant that I have in the backyard, and they're doing great. These not so well. They keep on being eaten by the rabbits. So let's see what happens. And I think I'm putting these other two heucheras in this area as well. I transplanted this Rose of Sharon from the front yard because I wasn't getting enough sun to this corner, which it's still not getting enough sun. It's too dry here. I'm going to move it to a sunny location in the backyard. These hostas, they kind of stayed small. This one has really done its thing. It's doing well. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not getting the same growth here. It's kind of rocky below. Maybe it has something to do with that. Again, sirens, airplanes, you name it. I'm gonna wait for that. And this is the tough stuff, and it did well. I trimmed it back a little bit, pruned it up a little bit earlier in the spring. Has some sort of damage here, but it'll be fine. Turning over to this side, this is the spirea. These are amazing, but they definitely need a trim. They've gone wild. Spirea gone wild. So, according to everything I read, I can prune these back in September, unlike other shrubs. This is okay to do it. So I'm going to see if I do it myself or I get somebody to help me do this. Hamlin grasses doing fabulously. They were really struggling the first year, but this year they've taken off and they're just absolutely beautiful. And they actually create a little bit of privacy from the front of the from the sidewalk. Um, Cryptomeria has a little damage down here. It's not getting enough sun. I did trim back the hydrangea to give a little circulation. I'm probably going to treat that and see how that goes. Same, the barberry needs a trim. They're going crazy. Um, these babies are beautiful. I don't water these. These don't need anything from me. When I used to water them, they would flop over, but I absolutely do nothing to these, and they're growing babies. This area in the front of the house, let me see if I get out of the sun, needs help, needs attention. And this is the front of my house. I mean, I have it covered with the fence and all that, but really when you come to my house, this is what you see. So again, I have some out of control plants, but it's sort of good. That means they're happy in their spot. I just have to divide this up and transplant. These are lamb's ear. I'm going to take some of these out and put them in the front hell strip. And in front of here, I think I'm going to plant some hydrangeas, some sun-tolerant hydrangeas. Right now, I have a mishmash of stuff, and I just got these annual um, containers from Costco with the blue fountain grass and the mums that are soon to come out. This is a wishbone flower. This sucker performed for me all season long. It's finally dying back in some areas, but in containers, in the ground, this wishbone flower is amazing. Okay. And I got them from a local nursery. I guess they grow it themselves, and it's amazing. I'm doing that again next year. The white petunias are doing good as well. I planted these late in the season. That's why they're so tiny here. This guy, the euphorbia, this is the white diamonds euphorbia. Usually I've planted this here and it gets humongous. This year, I don't know what happened, but it might be just neglect on my part. Yeah, I'm working on the front yard, as you can see. And so I have these little mums I'm going to put in the front containers. I think I'm putting boxwood in the front containers. I have these I got on sale at Lowe's for like $2. They were like in the clearance section, and they're so cute. This is Morning Glory, but they're small and they're blue and they look so beautiful and they're doing pretty well. This Vinca died and came back. These are I tried growing seed for the first time. These are the Cosmos, and I planted some in containers and others in the ground to see the difference. So the ones in the ground did a little better. These guys need water. These are my dogwoods. They need some water, and but they'll survive. And I'll trim them back. And I have to move these daylilies from here. I'm going to put them in the backyard. They're just not getting enough sun. This shrub has gone humongous, so it's about, I would say, 5 feet at least tall, and roughly 5 feet wide, 5 to 6 feet wide. But I really like them. I like how they frame the house. I like how they provide a little bit of privacy. Not exactly a hedge, but like the front entrance, since you're so close to the street. Um, you get a little bit of, you get a little bit of privacy there, you see. It's not like people can just stare you down. So yeah, so these are also some of these cosmos that weren't also in pots, but they're in a sunnier area, and so they bloom for me. However, the ones in the ground started to bloom earlier, and the bees are loving them. Again, these are the Sunshine Ligustrum, which I'm going to trim them all back down to that size, but I have to wait until the spring. I'm going to wait until the spring. According to everything I read, I should do it like in March, like early spring. So that's what I'm going to do. Same thing with the 9-barks. I'm going to trim them up in the spring. So I'm just going to let these plants do their thing for now. In the spring, I'll cut back the 9-bark and the ligustrum and trim up those blue points junipers, which are looking great too. So yeah, these are some of them even have flowers. Again, They look beautiful. I think they're really beautiful. They're just a little bit big for this spot. Okay, on this side, I trimmed back this juniper, and I trimmed back this lavender and just came back. And I did just a couple of lavender to see the difference if I cut them back in the summer, how well they do in the fall. And I think, yeah, I have to cut these back, not only in the spring, late spring, but I have to do it also in the summer. And I started planting up this area as a, as a privacy sort of mixed border from my neighbor. I started with the arborvitaes over there, the emerald green arborvitaes. I have those ligustrum, I have the spirea, I have mugo pines, and I have these little boxwood. And now I also planted some heuchera. And this is a midnight something or the other, a stilby, which I don't know. Let's see how it does next year. It still has a couple of leaves. It's sort of burned out. So this is stilby supposed to be able to get a little bit more sun, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I always say New Jersey sun. New Jersey is a hot state. We're getting hotter too. So compare those lavender to the ones I didn't cut back in the summer. I cut these back in the spring, but not in the summer. They have some growth, but they don't have as many flowers. Um, I've noticed that these guys, these are euonymus. These are butterscotch euonymus. They're tiny, little. I planted them there for the contrast, for the color contrast, with the nine bark being that burgundy color and the butterscotch euonymus having that nice chartreuse color. They're tiny. I should have planted them closer to the front of the border here, but they sort of are enjoying the shade. And the sun is high. It's 11 o'clock, so the lighting here is terrible. All right, this is another lavender that I did not cut back. Or did I cut that? No, that one I did cut back. I also added this lemon coral sedum. I want to know if it's coming back for me next year. I'm not sure. That guy, that euonymus, butterscotch euonymus, looks like it has a little bit of black mold. Give it some treatment. And this is a lantana planted late in the season. I I planted a couple lantana different places to see if it comes back for me next year. They haven't in the past, and so I'm just trying it again since I think our zone got a little warmer. We have tons of pollinators on the spirea. Um, we have tons of pollinators also on the cosmos. And this is another spirea. This is double play doozy. Has a beautiful color. These two need to be trimmed back. This is their second or third year. So I'm probably gonna get someone to come help me, because I don't have time. So sometimes it's easier to pay somebody to come and do this quickly than to try to figure it out on my own. If I don't have the time, I don't have the time. I gotta be honest with myself. So I'm planning a little something different here. This is a 9 bark that I planted last year, and it's grown a lot, not as much as the other ones. Those got planted earlier. They might grow later, but I have a feeling because they have competition from this juniper and that blue point juniper, and you have the lavender and other things here. I think that's why it um, hasn't really done what the other ones have. So I was planning to work here, but the pollinators, the bees, mostly these are carpenter bees, are very happily eating and feasting. So I'm gonna leave them alone. I'm gonna have to come back in the afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock, to see if I plant some of this up. Um, so this is a mixed cosmos that is coming up there. You can see the difference from the summer. I forget what these are called. Summer, whatever. These are super tall, and the other one's a little shorter. So I think I'm going to try these seeds again next year. I think cosmos, and when I first started to teach myself gardening, I tried cosmos and they died. I planted them in the ground and the rabbits ate them. So this year I kept them in pots and I planted them with covers, with these cloches, and that's how I kept the rabbits off of them, and it gave them enough time to do their thing. So cloches is the way to go. So these are the plants that I'm planning to put in this corner here. This is really sunny, south facing corner. as opposed to the other side of the front yard that is it's facing north. It's northwest, I guess. This is west over here, and this is south. So, yeah, you'll see. There are all types of bees there. There are carpenter bees, regular bees, wasps, moths, all types of little animals. And you know what? The more stuff I give them, the more they leave me alone. The only thing that doesn't leave me alone is are the mosquitoes. So I'm planning to put that phlox there. That's a tall phlox. That is, I'm not sure if I'm going to put that penstem in there. I'm still considering it. Um, and I'm planting this Pugster Blue Butterfly bush. I'm going to move that lavender and put the Pugster Blue in there and plant the lavender over there with that other one. That looks really skimpy. And I'm planting this. This is another juniper. It's really pretty. I got this at the garden center. I don't know what the name of this is, but I like it. It's different and it's pretty. This is my house strip that I'm hoping to work on soon. I keep on putting this off, but I really want to get rid of most of this grass. And this is a little corner where I was testing out some ground covers. And the ground cover I have here is the um, Silver Mound and the Blue Rug Juniper and the Blue Star. And this is a Arborvitae. I think it's an Arborvitae. No, it's one of those, the fire chief, one of those, which is like kind of, I don't water these. I'm just testing them out to see what exactly, how these do. Because I'm planning, you know what I want to do? I want to do lots of ground cover in this house strip. I just want to do all different colors of ground cover. It's going to look so nice. And then there's little spots of color like taller perennials. Maybe some penstemon, maybe some sedum. Anyway, I also contracted this company to come treat my lawn. I mean, my lawn is terrible. I need to seed it, but um, they're at least treating all the crabgrass. You know, they're helping me out, and they're organic. They do things natural. So that looks terrible, I know, but it's, like I said, everything is experimental for me. I'm just learning, I'm teaching myself. It's taking forever, but there's a little tiny crepe myrtle. This guy doesn't get any water. It's on the street. It's surrounded by cement and asphalt. And this chick is loving its life. This is another plant that that does well here in New Jersey. Central New Jersey, Zone 7A is the crepe myrtles. This is a dwarf one. We have lots of taller ones. They're beautiful. Now look at this majesty. I mean, what? What? I planted 5 zebra miscanthus, the dwarf ones. So they get like 5 feet tall, which they are, but their plumes or their flowers get much taller. And I have other plants in here. You can't even see them. You can't even see them. I have some Veronica and stuff. They just took over, and they're great. I mean, even in the winter, like they sort of keep their structure. They're like a great screening. So I have my neighbor's driveway and my driveway, and so we share like they have like 2 feet of space here. So I can't plant. It's weird. I can't do anything really with the strip because part of it is theirs, even though they've given permission for me to do whatever I want. But you know how that is. You don't want to encroach on other people's property and do things maybe that they might not like. But these are marvelous. Look at this. What? It looks like a prairie. Look at that. Look at that. It's just beautiful. Look at that. Who knows what's underneath all this grass, but it's just, I do absolutely nothing, nada, zero, zilch. I don't water this. I think I might have, earlier in the season, I might have given it a little bit of fertilizer. But that's it. I have a bunch of plants here my collection of plants that need to be put somewhere. I just buy stuff when I see it on sale and I think it might look right. But anyway, a couple of boxwoods. These are dwarf spirea. These I got on sale as well. What are these? Butterscotch baby spirea. So they're really tiny. You have some regular, I think these are emerald green or something like that, boxwoods. This is a cotoneaster, whatever it's called, and it's drying up. I don't know why. Maybe I'm giving it too much water. Um, I have this chick here, this green-eyed, black-eyed Susan. This bed needs some attention. There's sort of self-care. Another, like, really, I am very proud of myself because even though, you know, I need to do some weeding, I need to cut stuff back, I really need to do some maintenance. Honestly, I really haven't done much at all. And these babies are doing their own thing. Now, these drift roses, I'm not crazy about. I think this is Rose Rosette. It's been like that forever. I think I'm going to pull these out and plant um, something else. Maybe hydrangeas. I don't know. This is south facing. These are the limelight hydrangeas that I planted here. They dried up pretty quickly and they get a lot of sun. So I don't know. I don't know yet. I have the clematis on this trellis did better and it gets a little bit more shade. This one dried up quickly. So I don't know if I want to do clematis or I want to move that, or maybe I'll add some other vine. I would like to plant a rose here, right here in this corner, so it could come up like that. Maybe one of those Zephyrin roses. So I'm not going to go to the backyard. Or am I? I don't know. Oh, this is another hedge of arborvitaes that I planted in the yard with my neighbor for some privacy, and it's doing well. This is a Ruby Incredible Invincible that kind of dried up, but it blossomed. And I'm moving again. I gotta move these lambs here. I'm gonna put the lambs over here. I'm gonna put some more hostas here. Okay, so I said I wasn't gonna go in the backyard, but let me just show you this. Let me just blog this, because this is the bed that I was working on. That's the Arctic Rose Camellia, Incredible Hydrangea, some hostas that I divided, Steed's Holly, Pinky Winky, Reblooming Azalea. The sun is really high. These are the, what are these guys again? These are from Southern Living. Golden something. Golden something. They're hollies. I can't remember. The Jane Magnolia tree. This is a little quick fire. More divided hostas. Invincible Limetta. More Steed's Holly, the Snowflake Oak Leaf Hydrangea that I have covered up. And these are little tidbits. And yeah, my hostas need help. The firelight tidbits. So yeah, like I said, I mean, really, the weeds would be terrible right now if I hadn't done weeding earlier in the season. And so I'm really proud of myself because I did keep up with the weeding sufficiently. So right now it's not like a hot mess express over here. And I've chosen plants that really like their life. And like I said, I'm not going to the backyard. I have messes everywhere. But let's just look at this. These are my my tomatoes, and they're already done. I've done so many tomatoes. They're the tomato sun gold. I planted them in a pot, and I topped them off already. So I'm just getting the last bit of fruit. I have a bunch of stuff in pots that may or may not make it. And these are my Cuban bell peppers. Bunch of pots, another blue rug juniper, bunch of pots. Yeah, so I have to work on different things. I said I was going to do the backyard, but one more thing. These are my first dahlias ever that I grow from the tuber. And I decided to do it in pots because I wanted to try them out in pots. Because maybe I could just stick the tuber in the greenhouse or in the garage and take it out next year. I don't know. That's what I'm planning to do. I'm finally getting my first flower. These suckers barely did anything. I was watering them lightly. I wasn't, drowning them in water. They're in full sun, part shade, part sun, should I say, this area here. And they weren't doing anything. I was fertilizing very sparingly with Miracle-Gro, the powder. And then I asked on Instagram, how's it growing? She's a gardener, a YouTube gardener from New Jersey, and she has wonderful looking dahlias. And I was so jealous of her dahlias. So I asked, I said, what do you do? And she said, you know what? You just gotta, don't fertilize with the blue stuff, fertilize with stuff that, grows a flower, and do it once a week. So I've been doing that. And look at this. And I've been using the same product that she uses, which is Espoma Bloom. And we might see a dahlia this season. We might actually see two. We might actually see two dahlias. So, and this dahlia is the lilac thyme. And I planted these two different ways. This one has less drainage, has less holes on the bottom. I made holes on the bottoms of these tubs. And this one has more drainage. And the less drainage is doing better than the more drainage in both counts. Again, and this is Thomas Edison, very appropriate for New Jersey. This is more drainage. And this is less drainage, Thomas Edison. So it looks like the ones with less drainage, with less holes on the bottom of the pot, are doing better than the ones with more holes on the bottom of the pot, at least in these conditions. So they're on pavers, hot pavers. They're getting, partial sun. So it's about 11 o'clock now, and they're sort of in the shade, except for that one over there. But most of the day they're getting sun. So they're getting a good 6 hours of sun, I would say. So let's see how that goes. Let's see if we actually get a dahlia this year. So I said we were going to do in the backyard. And I came to the backyard anyway. And I showed you all my mess on YouTube to the world so you can see my hot mess yard. All the stuff I haven't done. But that's all good because this is real gardening. This is real gardening for people who work outside the home. There's a little bee there. I just can't get over that. That just looks so magnificent. Looks magnificent. Love this. Ooh. I feel like Little House on the Prairie. And I want to do something up here. So again, I share this with my neighbor. They have about a foot. This is they're like, you could do whatever you want, Rita. But I think, I sort of already did whatever I wanted. These are going right over. I might plant some low ground cover underneath there to make it look good for them. And then here, I really want to get rid of all this turf. I'm going to do something. I don't know what. Got to do something there. I don't know if I should do a tree, but then it'll have too much shade. Maybe I should move this chick over there. Move the crepe myrtle over to that area. I don't know. We'll find out. And again, we have the hell strip. And I imagine this health strip full of different ground cover colors, sort of like this thing I got going on here, all along with pathways to the sidewalk and some tall, some annual tall flowers, maybe some penstemon, maybe some daylilies, maybe some more lavender, maybe some sedum, maybe some more puckster. Oh, I said this was a short video and it's 29 minutes. I forgot to talk about what I really want to talk about this front. I'm gonna plant. Oh no, I did say that I was gonna plant the puckster blue, the puckster pink, and move this around. So yeah, how pretty. Look how pretty. So I think the highlights again of this late summer 2024 has been the cosmos that finally I was able to get right, and the miscanthus, the grasses that are looking magnificent, magnificent. You know, that's it for now. Hasta la próxima. Until next time. Adios.